Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Last night I uploaded a short, very unusual, cloaked thing, or a cloud of sorts, that was in the shape of a diamond, and it looked very unnatural. I made a short, but I was unable to capture it on camera, so that's why I took that video down. It's unfortunate, but you weren't able to see it at all on camera, so it was too dark out. So I'm revisiting a video. I've made several videos on this song. We even did a live stream. I used to do streams with my friend a while back, and we did one on this video, and that was the last one we ever did, actually. But unfortunately, it was taken down midstream because of copyright issues, supposedly, which is why, unfortunately, I'm not going to play the volume, and I'm going to barely just skip over scenes and not really play the video, but you can easily find it yourself with such a title or in the community posts that I've shared. This is Madonna in May of 2019, coming out. She came out with this incredibly disturbing and weird concert show in the Eurovision contest. And as you can see right away, we have a pyramid shape above and a pyramid shape below. That's just the stage, though. Whether that's relevant or not, I don't know. But if you immediately take a look straight ahead of you, you will notice where the drapes are, that is some sort of demon head or some sort of figure or alien face that can only be seen from certain angles, from certain lighting. You're surrounded by a bunch of pillars in a cathedral-like setting. You have what looks to be very medieval-looking capuchin monks. There's 27 of them, I counted. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but there's 27 of them. And then goes up on the stage is the queen herself, immediately wearing this very odd cloak, I would call it. And I'm going to try to... Let me go back a little bit, where she opens up and you can see it in its entirety. But for years I've been speculating what is coming out of this egg. It's really hard to tell because depending on what angle you're looking at this, it sort of creates this pareidolia effect where you can see whatever you want to see coming out of that egg. But I personally think this is some kind of reptile. I can see a snout. I can see eyes. It sort of resembles an alligator coming out of this egg. And the egg is cracking, as you can see. She has an X on her eye and an X on her chest. I'm not sure what that means, but I personally think it might be related to chromosomes or DNA, since an egg is related, basically to hatching, to birth, to DNA. It could also be allegorical. I mentioned recently Garnet Schulhauser's book about him talking to who he calls in the spirit world the Council of the Wise Ones, and how they want to basically have a Messiah come down to Earth, but the way they want to do it is through what is called a walk-in spirit. So I'm sure many of you have heard of what a walk-in is. It's basically when a body or a vessel swaps souls. So you have one soul basically driving a body. That soul leaves, another one walks in and takes the vessel over. And I'm wondering if this is allegorical, if they're going to have this sort of reptilian serpent seed be the walk-in for the Messiah figure. It will be a serpent reptilian consciousness in a human body. I don't know. We just have to look at every angle of this. But it's an interesting idea that a walk-in is mentioned in the book. And if we look at this as allegorical, maybe it's true this so-called Messiah or whoever has already been living on Earth for decades, and his consciousness, his vessel will be used and swapped with a different sort of, reptile god consciousness, the king of the reptiles, right? Or the king of the serpents, or whoever these aliens are. The reason why I say alien is because I'm trying to get there's a really clear image of this thing where it's really visible that it's an alien head behind over here. And there's, at the end of this, for a split second, there's another alien head. Maybe right over here. Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah. See if I could play it for a couple of seconds without a copyright. You see, it kind of looks like and it has a halo over it or something. It's not a pleasant thing to look at. This entire video is very unpleasant. And the words that she sings, oh guys, you gotta go and check that out for yourself. Not everyone will make it to the future. Not everyone that's here is gonna last. The storm is not outside of us, it is inside of us. Things like this. I can feel your power in the midnight hour. Whose power is she talking about? So they're bringing these pillars. What are these pillars? Do they represent the new world? And I've always been conflicted in what the new world order even is, okay? Because in some instances it's implied that the new world order is just a financial restructuring and a rebalancing of power from one superpower to another. But in some other instances, it implies the end of civilization entirely, and a new world, as in new everything, begins. To me, that makes more sense, to be honest with you. Because if you reach the peak of power, or the peak of knowledge, and that suddenly falls apart, and you have to start over, it's new. You're starting over, it's new. Kind of like the show 100, where all the technology was lost after the nuclear war, and the civilizations that rose up afterwards started to worship this AI because they couldn't understand how it actually worked. Everything was new to them again. It was a primitive, barbaric civilization. So everything made new because of the disintegration of knowledge. So over here we have some hexagonal pattern. And immediately what comes to mind is of course the first thing I think about is this. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that. So look at this. Is there an action? We have this hexagonal, even though it looks like it's made of concrete. I don't know. Now, of course, take notice of the gas masks. Why would they be wearing gas masks? And the flowers. The flowers are a very common theme. Very common theme everywhere in the Denver airport murals and iPad Go 2. It's a very common theme. And this is a very important part right here, ladies and gentlemen. She says that we know about your crimes. Okay? So we have religious figures. Looks like maybe Catholic or Orthodox priests. And as this shows up on the screen, she says, we know about your crimes and what you've done. And I can't help but wonder if this is some sort of rivalry between different factions who are attempting to build this new world. There is no way it's just one group. There is no way. If this is a real thing, we're talking about numerous groups that are attempting to invoke their own magic and their own ideal of this new world. And yeah, I think at first there will be possibly be a financial component to it, a one world currency or whatever. But the end result, I do personally think, is the reset of civilization itself. It's clearly shown here. I'll show you in a second. And the flowers. I think the flowers imply a spring, a new dawn, a new beginning, right? That's what flowers always imply. Or that this will happen in the springtime. There's a tsunami, by the way. It's a flood. You could see that this is a flood right here. Even though it's someone walking, it looks like water. It looks like a flood. And after the flood, what happens after the flood? The fire. A great fire comes. They all fall down. The gas mask people all fall down. Look at this tremendous fire. And then more tsunamis, more water. Fire and water come down. Is it solar? Is it celestial? Is it man-made? Is it natural? Is it a combination? You folks tell me. Now, if this scene doesn't tell you something, then I don't know what to say. At the 6:17 mark. I mean, that just says it all right there. What else could I possibly say about this scene? I mean, this, I believe, implies something nuclear. This fire looks very, very radioactive to me. And of course, the gas masks imply something like that too. They're all making a makeshift cross, essentially. And over here, this is when she starts singing, not everyone will make it to the future. And you have a wormhole behind her. And she sings this, guys, she sings this with such conviction. Like, it's almost as if though she knows this is the future, whether you like it or not. That's the kind of look she gives with her one eye that she's showing us. Her freaking one eye. She's like, look, not all of you are making it to the future, whether you like it or not. This is what this whole thing is implying. It's crazy. It's absolute insanity. And you have this weirdo dressed like a partial knight. They're basically dressed like a king and queen of sorts, right? So you have this very weird, like radioactive looking dust behind them. It doesn't look like a normal fire at all. Not at all. It's like very green and weird. And This whole thing is just, and this is like one of the most important parts in my opinion. It's super hard to see, but as these figures walk up the stairs, so they take off their gas masks, they start walking up the stairs, okay? And they have flags of different countries behind them that are super hard to see. But some of them you can make out. You can make out some countries. And wow, look at that. It's a celebration. The stars. Yay. New world. Yay. Yay. Yippee. Madonna's going to bring you the new world. And all the old knowledge is going to die and you'll have to start over again. And you're going to think AI is a god, maybe, because everyone will be dumb again. I don't know. Maybe. It's just a theory, guys. I don't know. I'm not on the inside. Okay, here we go. Here's the flags. The only ones you could honestly clearly see are Israel and Palestine. Hold on, my computer's glitching. Israel and Palestine. Of course, they're going to be at the center. So this implies something biblical. Of course, the whole thing is kind of biblical and religious in nature, of course, right? And at the very end, for a split second, I'm hoping I could capture this. Okay, well, you see New York again, first of all. But there's like this weird alien again at the end. A weird alien. I don't know if I could. I probably missed it, guys. It literally shows up for like a split second. Wait, there it is. There it is, right? I made one of the first videos I made on my old channel was this. Look above them. Like some people told me, like that's not an alien. What is it? Doesn't it look like some kind of spider or some kind of giant insect that's like over them, looking down? Like look at the spider legs on the sides. There's clearly a neck. There's clearly a chest. There's eyes. It looks like there's something on the head. It looks like a queen bee there's another pyramid. So it's the queen, right? Is this the queen that rules the world? The hive, the insect, right? Or whatever, if there's any truth to that. I mean, look at that. Is that not a trip or what? I don't know how you can mistake that for anything else. Alright, guys. Let's see if this even uploads. If it doesn't, I'm going to be pretty sad. But hopefully it does. And also take notice of the inverted cross down here. The church turned upside down, possibly, right? That's not by accident that this whole church is upside down. And the queen bee, the queen hive, or this whatever the hell it is looking over it. And then the pyramid. The pyramid closes again, right? So the pyramid opens every once in a while to initiate this new world, the capstone of the pyramid. And then the pyramid closes back whenever that process starts all over again. It has to do with this capstone. I'm telling you, the capstone of the pyramid is hiding some secret from us. And it's very relevant to, what am I doing? Okay, well, let's see if it'll upload, guys.